Morning students, today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is A Thing of Beauty. It's written by John Keats. John Keats is a British poet who is belonging to the Romantic period. That is, we can say another Romantic poets are William Wordsworth, John Keats, Coleridge, etc. What's the speciality of Romantic poets? They always show love towards nature. John Keats was born in 1795 and died in 1821. This particular poem is taken from his poem Endymion. It's a poetic romance. This poem is based on a Greek legend in which Endymion, a beautiful young shepherd, and the poet who lived on Mount Latmos had a vision of Cynthia, the moon goddess. The enchanted youth resolved to seek her out and so wandered away through the forest and down under the sea. Here, the poet wanted to specify that a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Always a thing of beauty will help you to come out of all difficulties. So, let us begin with the poem. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. So, the poet is beginning with the famous line, a thing of beauty is a joy forever, meaning that a beautiful thing always gives joy to humans. It will never pass into nothingness. That is, its beauty will never die. Instead of its loveliness increases. So, whatever beautiful thing you see, it will never die. It always increases. The poet then compares the thing of beauty with a number of other things to describe how much important it is for us. First, he is saying that it is a bower. What is bower means? It is a shady part, or you can say shelter. So, thing of beauty is a shelter for us. And what else the thing of beauty can provide you? It can provide you good sleep. With what? With full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. What is quiet breathing means? Relaxation. So, you'll get relaxation after seeing a thing of beauty. And it has a significant role to play in the life of human things. So, therefore, that is the poet is again and again saying that a thing of beauty is never ends in nothingness, it always increases. What are the things the thing of beauty provides us? It provides us shelter and good sleep with a lot of sweet dreams, good health, and relaxation. Second stanza, that is, it begins, therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, in spite of despondence, of the inhuman death, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways, made forward searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirit. So, here the wreathing means making, despondence means sadness, dearth means lack, and pall means dark cloud. So, let us explain. Every morning we collect the flower like charm of the beautiful things and make a band of it that gives us joy. That means it gives every morning we used to recollect things, isn't it? So there are unhappy moments in our life. In each and every person's life, happy moments and unhappy moments are there. So we have to face unhealthy ways, we have sad moments are there, unhealthy things are there, griefs are there, even failures are there in our life. But in spite of all these gloomy things, a thing of beauty takes away all these troubles and gives us joy and peace. What is the poet saying? We have sadness, failures, we have anger, unhealthy things, but a thing of beauty has the power to remove all these things, and it can provide you what? It can provide you joy and spirit. Understood? Now, let us see the third stanza. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep and such are daffodils, with a green world they live in and clear rills, that for themselves the cooling covert make. Against the hot season, the mid forests break, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. So here the poet is giving you some examples. What are the examples the poet is saying? A beauty that gives us joy. What are the things, the beautiful things in the nature which gives us joy and happiness? Which are the examples? That include the sun. The sun can give you happiness. The moon can give you happiness. Trees, that is old and young, that is grow up and give for what? Beautiful and peaceful shade to our spirit. Then daffodils that make the earth very green. Pure and cool streams. You know it, rills. Rills means what? The small streams. Covered means thickets. And there are another things are also. These are all there. Beautiful things are there which can provide you what? Happiness. That I will repeat. The poet gives examples of things of beauty that gives us joy and happiness. Examples include the sun, the moon, trees old and young, daffodils, pure and cool streams. These are the things there in the present in the where? In the nature, which can provide you happiness. There are summers in which the fair musk rose blooms. Musk rose is a type of rose only. During summer season, these roses blooms and that shine in the season. And so that also gives us beautiful things. So which are giving the shade to the sheep, the thickets, and the cooling effect in the forest, the springs. They are all the examples of the beautiful things present in the nature that provides us beauty. We have and such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink, pouring unto us from the heavens bring. So here next is grandeur. Grandeur means magnificence. Dooms means on the doomsday. Mighty means here powerful. Dead means dead persons. Tale means stories. Immortal means that lives forever, never dies. Pouring means it pours from heavens, means from paradise. Brink means corner. Let us see. Finally, the poet refers to the beauty of grandeur, that is the magnificent and impressive memory of the mighty dead. Now the poet wanted to speak about the beauty lying in where? In the mighty dead, that is the martyrs who sacrifice their lives for the good cause. There is the joy of lovely tales that we have heard or read. We heard a lot about the mighty dead. We read about them, which they are also beautiful things. Thus, nature is the endless fountain of immortal drink, which it pours us from the heavens drink. So, nature is compared to where? Is what it contains what also? If nature is like what? Like the endless fountain of immortal drink, which is pouring, which it pours into us from the heavens brink, means edge of the heaven or corner of the heaven. It is pouring that immortal drink to us. Nature gives us immortal joy that comes from heaven and hence it is the ultimate source of happiness. That's what the poet conveyed to us. Nature gives us immortal joy that comes from heaven, and hence it is the ultimate source of what? Source of happiness. Then here a lot of poetic devices are used. I will explain one by one. First one, you all know about alliteration. I don't have to say. Alliteration and assonance, you all know. What is alliteration? Repetition of consonant sound in each line. What is assonance? Repetition of vowel sounds in each line. Then it is, you all know it. The next FOS, that is imagery. We learned in the first line also. I will repeat once again. Imagery is the words which the poet used in order to appeal to our senses. Here the imagery used in these words: flowery bands, shady boon, clear rills, daffodils in green world, grandeur of dooms, cooling covert, endless fountain of eternal drink. Here, what is which FOS is used? Which poetic device is used? Imagery. Next, metaphor is used here. Metaphor. What is metaphor? Indirect comparison. I told you in the class also, he is a lion in the class. So, I did not use the word like or as. So, indirectly comparing the boy to the lion of the class. So, here which are the metaphors? Bower quiet, sweet dreams, wreathing flowery band. Wreathing flowery band, how can it be a metaphor? Because it is we are all making what? Wreathing means making what? The band. Girls, all you know, hair band, isn't it? It's a band we are making. What is the band? Here it is mentioned about the memories. That there it is metaphor. So then it is endless fountain of immortal drink. So here they are all what? They are all metaphors. Then Paul is dark clouds, our memories. We have a lot of difficult situations. They are compared to what? Dark clouds. So it is metaphor. The next FOS is transferred epithet. I hope you all remember. Epithet means adjective. Transferred epithet means transferring the adjective from the one noun to another noun. For example, if I will say sleepless night, that is transferred epithet. The night is the noun and sleepless is the adjective. We don't say that sleepless night. Who is sleepless? The person is sleepless. So there the epithet, that is the adjective transferred from person to night. So that is transferred epithet. Here it is. Transferred epithet is used in gloomy days. So here days are not gloomy. The person is gloomy, isn't it? So there it is transferred epithet. That is next one. Next FOS is oxymoron. What is oxymoron? Oxymoron means containing words that seem to contradict each other. Contradictory words are used together. Then it is called what? Oxymoron. If I will say foolish, wise man. Foolish, wise. Foolish is, you will all know. Wise. They are both are what? Contradictory thing. If I will say the same, difference. Same and difference, contradictory words. Here it is mighty, dead. Very courageous, dead. Mighty, dead. Person is dead. So there is no use. So it is a very funny way the poet uses. So it is oxymoron. The next poetic device used here is symbolism. Isn't it? The ideal meaning is different. The way the poet uses, and it has another meaning. The first one is simple shepherd, refers to mankind. Here you must say simple sheep, sorry. For simple sheep, who is a simple sheep here? The simple sheep is used, actually refers to the mankind, not the sheep. Just like whom? Just as Christ is considered the shepherd who leads human souls out of the dark. Clear? They are that is what? Symbolism. What is that symbolism used here? simple sheep. It refers to what? Poet actually it referring to mankind, not the sheep. As Christ is considered the shepherd who leads human souls out of the dark world of sins and temptations. So symbolism is also used here. I hope you understood. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you.